Cheese curds! So, Culver's, Butterburgers, cheese curds, custard. That's all you gotta know. So anyway, I decided that chapters 17 and 19 go really well together. Really, when I was taking notes, what would have been smart would have been to write down the names of the chapters right next to them instead of simply chapter 17 and chapter 19, but it's fine. So chapter 17 is called Leadership Takes Practice and Practice Takes Time, and learning leadership must be a daily habit. So, education, right? In education, especially in the earlier grades, as we're getting the kids all the way up through high school, we're teaching them good habits, which is where this whole need for discipline and all these excuses for why teachers can't be more student-centered in their teaching methods, what have you. But this idea of creating discipline, because you're creating habits for students to follow. You line up when the bell rings, leave the door, walk in a line, turn in your homework on time. Like, these are habits that we're supposed to be building into them that the higher ups in education say will eventually create, good citizens in the workforce or in the society or what have you. So taking that instead from more of a leadership perspective, I'll go into chapter 17 first. So leadership takes practice. Now, there's a line from the musical Hamilton where Burr, who is the antagonist, sings to Hamilton, who is the protagonist, "Why do you write like you're running out of time?" Which is such a good song because Hamilton is always writing because he's passionate and he's outspoken and he wears his heart on his sleeves. Whereas Burr is a perfect foil for Hamilton in that he is also extremely passionate about things, but he's too scared to put himself out there because he has learned, social learning theory, that if you put yourself out there, most likely you're going to get shot, you're going to get killed, it's not going to end well for you. So he is always very meticulous and very manipulative in his passions, but they're both really passionate. So Burr, out of jealousy, is like, why do you write like you're running out of time? Like, why can't you stop? Why can't you take a break? But, that's not who Hamilton is. And I myself am trying to balance these two voices in my head that scream out, be super passionate, and then the other one that says, hey, don't forget to plan things out, which is why leadership actually has to take practice. And once again, I'm reminded as to how lucky I am to have these opportunities to practice leadership in my work environment, because I'm enacting out a bunch of different theoretical practices for building rapport with students, with my team members, with a lot of one-on-one sessions, a lot of goal planning, a lot of personal development with my kids, and then just learning how to lead. Like I said in one of these videos, when I had first been promoted, I wanted everything to be perfect right away, and so anyone who didn't do things up to my standards, I would just kick out and be like, look, you can go over here, I'm going to do your job, I'm better than you, just stop. And that didn't work. That's not how teams work. And eventually I realized that, and I'm like, well, my father Luis was like, hey, dingbat, slapped me upside the head, you can't do everything by yourself. You have to teach people. And I didn't listen to him for 2 months, and then it finally got through my head, and I'm like, oh, I should be showing people how to do things. That's what it means to be a manager and a leader. Gotcha. Thanks, Dad. So I've dedicated the last about year of my experience at Culver's to training people, to making sure we're caught up on all of our training videos, and also working one-on-one with them, not only on the personal development side, I've talked a lot about that, but also on the skill side. I've worked one-on-one with all of my children on drive-through, on custard, on running out orders, on set, on taking orders, just so that they understand this is the framework that I envision for our store. This is the expectations that I have for you. We can continue working on it so that you get up to those expectations, but just give me your best and we'll work from there. And it's always a we will situation, not a you need to and I am this and you are that, because that's very separationist in nature. So it's always a we and a team mindset. Make a list of leadership skills you want to improve, my dear Lord. Okay, I need to improve on communication. So let me write this down. I need to improve on my communication. And my issue with communicating right now is I get caught up in my head, and so my ideas don't come out clearly. My directions don't come out clearly. And basically what happens is, I'll give you an example by reading parts of this book. So you have like the first paragraph, and then you have the second paragraph, and then the third paragraph. There's 4 paragraphs on the pages. This is how the reading is supposed to go. To develop as a leader and do your best, you have to step outside your comfort zone. You have to seek new experiences, test yourself, make some mistakes, and keep climbing back up that learning curve. You have to be curious, taking the initiative to try new things and experimenting with novel ideas and new ways of doing things. That's how a conversation should work. But in my brain, with the anxiety monster screaming, this is how my brain normally works. To develop as a leader, oh my god, I should probably develop as a leader. Wow, what are all the different ways that I can develop as a leader? Oh wow, that sounds really stupid. And do your best, you have to step outside your comfort zone. Dang, really? Oh my gosh, I never step outside of my comfort zone. What ways should I be stepping out of my comfort zone? Oh my gosh, I'm such a terrible leader. How is anyone following me? You have to seek new experiences, test yourself. How am I testing myself? And make some mistakes. I should really make mistakes, but I make too many mistakes already. And keep climbing back up the learning curve. You can imagine, with all of that going on in my brain at once, how difficult it can be to talk to people. But it's something that I'm working through. I'm still working through it. I'm getting a little bit better, actually. One of my friends told me that I get this anxiety thing happening because I don't have a script. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then I was listening to this talk by Steve Harvey and how he used to have the stuttering problem. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. And then finally, I'm like, what if my internal dialogue is just internal stuttering? Like, because every time I get a sentence going on and I'm thinking and I'm clear and there's silence in my brain, automatically I trip up my sentence, I mess it up, like it's bad. Like, that's like an internal stutter is what I've decided that to be. So, all of that to say I need to work on my communication skills. Because if all of that's going on, then that's a really self-centered perspective. So I'm not able to fully engage my audience or engage my team. And B, it's self-destructive in nature to have all of that chaos going on in your brain. And it takes a lot out of you. Try to manage all of that. So just by bringing it down a little bit, calming down a little bit, and focusing on what the overall goal is instead of focusing on what other people think about me, I'll be able to improve as a leader and thus improve my communication. What else? Yeah, I think that encompasses basically everything. It can also include confidence, enacting, creating action plans and actually following through on them. But I think the biggest thing is the communication because of that cute little anxiety monster that I just demonstrated for you. Pick 1 or 2 and decide one method you like to practice. Pick 1 or 2. Maybe I misread that chapter. Hold on. I don't remember like a 1 or 2. Well, I don't really understand this question. I might just be reading it wrong. But it says pick 1 or 2 and decide one method you'd like to practice. So, I'm gonna do morning mantras. I'm not gonna do morning mantras. I think that it's a really stupid practice. And I'm living with my mom again, so I'd be really self-conscious. But maybe I'll do journaling. I'll do daily journaling. I do journaling to a certain extent. Like, I think about what goals that I want to accomplish in the day and I type it out in my notes, but it's not, I don't have like a book handy and ready to write out my journaled ideas in. So I think I'll get back to doing that, and I'm going to give myself a time frame of 5 minutes. That way I don't spiral into anything and I can just keep myself really centered and focused. Would be helpful. And then figure out what worked and what didn't. I see my error in this chapter. I've done journaling before in the past, and that's why I said this time that I'm going to give myself the 5 minute time frame, because I can spend hours writing. I love to write. So in giving myself this time frame, and I'm also going to come up with 3 things I want to accomplish in the day that gets me closer to my goals. So that way I'm working on my goal setting, I'm working on my manifesting, law of attraction, and I'm not freaking out with the anxiety monster. So then chapter 19 says make it a habit. So theoretically, if I were to make this journaling thing a habit, what has happened in the past, I did this freshman year, basically, which is why I have some sort of insight going on. For me, halfway through, I'll kind of lose my motivation for it, right? So I'll be like, oh, this is actually really stupid. Like, wow, why am I doing this? Like, I'm stupid. I'm getting over that. That is a little bit childish in nature to think like that, but it also stems from the anxiety, depression, whatever other issues, mental health issues you want to throw in there. I've had them all, but I'm getting over that now, working with people more and more, speaking truth to my voice, talking about what my goals for life are. So that whole law of attraction idea really comes into play because I'm out here screaming at the world, I want to achieve these goals! And now I'm writing it down and I'm screaming at my paper, let me achieve these goals! And I'm reflecting with this leadership journal, look at who I am, I'm a leader! I can do this! Gambate! So I don't expect this to be a problem this time, because of how I am changing and how I have changed as a person these past couple years. But in the past, that is something that I've struggled with. On my notes. Chapter 19. So chapter 19, I thought it was called Learning Leadership. Learning leadership must be a daily habit. Oh, okay. Because on the computer it says make it a habit, and I wrote down learning leadership for the title, so intelligent. But learning leadership must be a daily habit. You have to think about ways in which you can improve yourself every single day. And I think that by simply improving yourself, you're already improving as a leader, because you're scrutinizing yourself and you're saying, look, like, I know I suck at these areas, and that's cool. I know I'm pretty good in these areas. That's also pretty cool. How do I mesh those things? How do I improve? How do I encourage other people? There's a quote from the song, and I'm trying to remember it. It's in Spanish. Cuidar a uno es nuestro tarifa por vivir en el mundo, which translates to caring for one another is our tariff, our tax for living on this planet. And that is a powerful concept, especially in today's world, because of just how far away we've gotten from this whole I want to care for you, I love you, like I'm here for you, like just as a person to person. You know, the American context romanticizes everything, and if you say you love somebody, then you must want to screw them or something, like you got to sleep with them, instead of it being this pure agape form of love. Agape or agape love is this idea of I love you as you are and who you are, and I accept you, and I just want to see the best for you. I just want to see you improve. It's nothing romantic in nature. It's nothing sexual in nature. It's simply, like, for me, it's the purest form of love that could possibly exist. It's like the love that you have between mentor and mentee, to be able to see, like, someone grow so much because of how much watering the plant that you've done for them. That is powerful. And that is why improving yourself, at least for me, is really important, because you can't go out and improve other people or help other people, encourage other people if you are shriveled up yourself. You have to bloom as the beautiful flower that you are, and, you know, help other people bloom. What else did I write? Morning motivation videos. So for my daily habits, I listen to my morning motivation videos like every day. I've been doing that for like 2 months now, and it's been top tier, okay? I do the 10-minute ones almost religiously. Sometimes I have enough time for the 30-minute or the hour ones, and they get me really going in the morning. Like, I'm all motivated to do stuff, and it's kind of changed my mindset quite a bit about things. I'm a little less anxious, but I'm a lot more driven and a lot more focused on what my goals in life are. I for next semester, I have to read what I wrote. I want to do a podcast. This class and other things in life have motivated me to put together this podcast. Excuse my language for 2 moments, but it's going to be called The Bad Bitch Mentality. It's simply Bad Bitch Mentality, okay? It's going to be pink. It's going to have like a cute little devilish curling tail at the end of it. But basically, I'm a part of the sorority, and a lot of things that I've noticed that us as women in general really struggle with is anxiety. Like anxiety, fear, depression. It's basically all of that bubbles into self-doubt. Like we doubt ourselves based off of our social conditioning or our learned behavior or whatever. For whatever reason, we're doubting ourselves. And that manifests itself into anxiety and depression and self-doubt and all these different things. And so I want to put together a podcast every single day for about 5 to 15 minutes. And it's just going to be like a motivating podcast. Like, how do you get that bad bee mentality? And it comes through self-reflection and self-leadership. So I want to put together topics every single day to just touch on a little bit to kind of help motivate other women to grow through the things that we've been socialized into accepting as normal, or to grow through whatever personal issues that we've had. So what else did I write? Invisible. Okay, the book said that habits are the invisible architecture of our daily life, and I really like that because, like I keep saying, I'm a person who needs structure. Like, I need structure, okay? I have all these great ideas, and I have no structure, and then I can't implement them, so then they just die, which is sad. So, in having a habit, because I have my morning motivation videos to listen to, I've been waking up at like 5 a.m., which is awful and great all at once. But now I have like a reason to get up at 5 a.m. and it's not just, okay, let me turn around and pull on, hit the alarm clock. It's, no, I gotta listen to my video. I gotta get up. Like, I gotta do stuff. So they're creating like points throughout the day for you to latch onto that kind of gets you through your day in a productive manner. So, boom. What are the questions? What chapters? 19? So the chapter 19 questions are: did I do my best to remain positive about my abilities today? Yes. Did I do my best to focus on exciting future possibilities? No. Kind of. Did I do my best to challenge and stretch myself? Every day is a challenge. Did I do my best to learn from other people? Yes. Did I do my best to practice a new leadership skill today? Yes. Okay. So, printing out these feedback forms is my thing for today. I gotta print them out. Because I was saying in a different video that I wanted to have a formative assessment kind of thing for myself, for my leadership style. I want my kids' feedback. So, that will be my new leadership skill for today. Learning from other people. Every time I interact with people is an opportunity to instill in them my light, but also to learn something from them. And so every time I talk to Louise, I talk to Brent, or I talk to anyone else at work, I'm always, hey, how was your day? Oh, how can I do this better? So I'm always trying to learn from other people. Challenging and stretching myself. I mean, I got up today. That's, if I can get up in the morning, that is my challenge most days. Did I do best to focus on exciting future possibilities? I need to start writing them down and journaling about futuristic possibilities, not just the 5-minute journal thing, actually sitting down, scheduling time throughout the week to once a week to really ask myself, okay, well, what did I do this week that was beneficial? What do I need to do next week that's beneficial? How do I keep improving? Blah, 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 those kind of things. So I'll probably get a different journal for that. Or maybe I'll only have one journal. I actually figured it out. I think I'm going to buy myself this fancy iPad thing and just take notes on the iPad, because I have 20 different notebooks, but the year started out good, and I labeled my notebooks for my specific classes, for my specific whatevers, okay, my what's it called, my lessons and my journals, and somehow, mystically, magically, they all got mixed up. So the journal thing works, the notebook thing works, but I need one, and only one. If I have anything more than one, it's gonna be a disaster. Maybe 2, but 1 for sure. So That's my exciting future possibility. And then remain positive about my abilities today. I'm getting over the fact that I'm not the kind of leader that I want it to be, and I'm accepting the fact that I am me, that has been a trip. But I'm talkative. I go off on tangents. I'm crazy. I have crazy ideas that are going to go out and change the world if I just unleash my mouth, or unlatch my mouth, or whatever the saying is. And so I'm doing that. I'm speaking truth to power. That is the topic of my teaching. I'm authentic engagement, speaking truth to power. So I'm going out there and I'm doing it, living my best life. And I need to keep this momentum going, because it could very quickly turn back into the anxiety monster saying, oh, but you're stupid. So I think the journaling will help. The long-term journaling will help me out a bit more to keep me motivated for things. I'm really excited for my fancy iPad. But anyway. Yeah, make it a habit. Daily habits. Daily habits provide structure. Boom.